All right, welcome in. In this video, I'm going to be covering the new moon energies that we have coming up on August 27th. This is going to be a new moon in Virgo. And like always, with astrology, it's not in a vacuum. So I'm going to be talking about some of the energies that we've been in and experiencing these past few days, as well as what we can be looking forward to into September. And then some of these are longer term energies with a lot of tension building. So it's great to have an awareness of what those are, and so you can better meet them in your life, however it shows up for you. My name is Chrissy Whistler. I am an intuitive, an astrologer, and I'm also a healer. So if you are needing support, if you would love to have your own birth chart reading done, please send me a message, and you're gonna find it in the link below once it's up on YouTube. But let me go ahead and, do I have it handy? Yes, I do. Let me go ahead and pop that link for you in the comments. For those of you who are going to be tuning into this live, and I'm so glad that you are here. Let me know, like, how are you doing? How is this end of summer going for you? The astrology that's like in your life, how is that shaping up? Okay, so there's that. And let me go ahead and do one more share, and then I'm going to dive into this astrology for you. But yeah, like, so how is the shift from the end of summer starting to get into fall? The autumn equinox is going to be here in just a month, which is amazing. Just amazing. And I'm actually squeezing this in, getting ready for a trip. We are heading back to the Montana area, Yellowstone and Glacier. So yeah, managed to get this in time. So you'll be getting lots of videos of that experience when I return. So, all right, now let's start talking about this new moon in Virgo. What does it mean? What might you expect? All that. So I want to talk about some of the highlights for you, okay, around this full moon. And one of the really big ones is Mercury. This is a very big energy, and we're going to be seeing this here at the end of August and well into September. So just before this full moon, which is on the 27th, on August 20th, Mercury in Virgo is going to be opposing Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So what does that mean? So this opposition energy is about the extremes between these two planets. And they both are in their own signs. Now, Mercury is all about communication, processing, like being an alchemist, and the ability to see all the bits and pieces and have this very discerning, critical eye of what isn't fitting, of what isn't perfection. And I say perfection as well because perfection energies might be very highlighted right now in yourself or the people around you. You can think of it like this needs to be the right process, the right way of doing things, the right way of taking care of your body, for example, like your health. There's only the right way to do it. And not necessarily like your way of doing things. So you can have that kind of energy coming at you from other people, or maybe even yourself directing it at others. Now, Neptune is very spiritual. This mystical flow that we are all connected, the people, environment, nature, And it's more highlighted because it's in Pisces, its own sign. Now, this retrograde energy is about really reflecting on our dreams, our fantasies. Is this truth or is this illusion? You may have a better time of picking out what is truth and illusion right now. This is also a revolutionary energy, doing things differently, maybe about your dreams or how you perceive spirituality or even like nature. So with this particular opposition energy, it can show up like there is a restriction in communication, especially around the way that you do things. And if you are a more mystical, spiritual person, maybe you are more connected to nature, the senses, someone who has a heightened sensitivity to the world, you might be feeling this restriction. You might have words exchange that these experiences that you're having, that they're not real, that they are illusions and dreams. They don't follow the normal processes and rules that we in our society have defined for our Earth at this time. You might also feel restricted about boundaries being placed on you, that you need to do things this way in order to communicate, in order to be seen in the world. Your process and your way of doing things, it's like it has to hit all these different charts, like a checklist, all these elements. And if it doesn't, then it's wrong, or it's broken, or it's imperfect. Or it could simply be even like social media platforms, for example. They're like, well, if you don't hit all these boxes that we want you to hit, then you just don't get to voice. You don't have a voice. You don't get to communicate, especially in the way that you want to. So we're going to restrict you. So that kind of energy is what I'm explaining and getting into. And actually, it's really interesting for me as being somebody who's sharing this more esoteric, mystical wisdom with you. I've been really digging into and like, hey, am I having my own shadow silencing going on right now on these larger platforms? Because it's kind of feeling that way. It's a feeling. It starts as like a feeling, and I'm not sure. And so that's just kind of like an example that you might have somewhere in your life. But in general terms, this social media stage, at this time, we can be experiencing this kind of restriction around being able to communicate about flow and unconditional love, mysticism. There can be almost this discounting about what's true information and what's fake, because it doesn't follow the normal processes and procedures, or it's that are, again, defined by these more older outlets, older institutions. Another thing that might be coming up for you right now is shame and guilt coming to the surface. Almost like some part of you is feeling like it needs to be punished for being so out there and different, that you are wrong for being different. And the kind of feelings, too, that I'm speaking of aren't like, it's like they're coming from deep within you. Unconscious almost, real deep emotions. It's like not coming from like the logical mind, and yet it's very real and very visceral experience. So that could be something that might come up for you in your life. So again, just to kind of be aware. So if you're in those moments and you're noticing that's true for you, you can catch yourself almost as this like, wait a second, is this actually like mine? Where is it coming from? and go into that and see where that that takes you, getting to the root of what your emotions are communicating with you. This energy too, like you can almost think of it like the monks from a couple hundred years ago. Sorry, I can't even think of a time right now, but when they would just flail themselves because they were human, because they weren't perfect and pure enough, so they would harm themselves. So that's that kind of energy that I'm speaking of, the shame and this guilt of you not being pure enough. So if it comes up for you in your mental mind and your mental body, you can catch yourself and start to rewire some of these really old conditionings that your soul may have brought in with you. Right now, there is a growing tension, energy that's building, and it's this unconditional love, sensitivity, psychic abilities, and a real reflective nature of what that even is, and what is actually being allowed to be shared and expressed, communicated in our world at this time. You might be feeling singled out for your abilities if you are someone who is very sensitive, is very different, and just kind of really own it, or even not like really owning it. It could be very subtle too. And the reason I'm kind of giving you so much of this information is because we may be getting a second hit of this energy, a second re-experience of it around September 30th, when Mercury is going to be in retrograde again. And retrograde energy is very reflective time, helping us to go inward, to see things differently, very discerning even. And so reflecting on how are we communicating with each other? How are we seeing perfection? Are we adding and expecting too many boundaries, too many limitations on this more spiritual, mystical side of our nature and of the world, of love even, of nature itself? Because Neptune and Pisces is nature, it is the environment, that natural world, universe, this we are all connected. So again, just be aware of what's coming to the surface for you so you can better shift and move with these energies. Now, adding to this, because Mercury, like I said, is very highlighted, Mercury is going to be trine with Pluto retrograde in Capricorn on the 22nd of August and the 23rd, which is when I am filming this, or going live, I should say. So we're going to again be getting whatever's happening for you right now. You'll be getting another hit of that energy during the Mercury retrograde period. Now, Pluto in Capricorn is really doing its job, just digging up all of that muck of the past, you know, the systems, structures, expectations and obligations, the stuff that wasn't working in our world. And we might be having an easier time seeing and intellectually understanding what that is, what those broken bits are. And Mercury, of course, is really going to help us even see, okay, now that we see what it is, what are some solutions to that? So that can be some of the gifts coming forward in this as well. And also add too is that we can have that experience that society itself, different systems and structures can be restricting our ability to communicate and to bring forward new systems, new ideas, new ways of communicating. So think of it like this, initially it's more, it can be almost like a relationship restriction or more local. And at the same time, then we're getting this other wider hit of Saturn and, you know, Capricorn energy with Pluto there can be a larger global scale of this communication restriction. And again, real understanding and clarity can come in at this time of the different roles that these systems are playing in order to keep us from expanding into our new processes, into our new creations and ideas that I know so many of you are really calling in for yourself right now. We are at the beginning of harvest time. So yeah, it's this energy of let's go forward. And what is that going to be for you? I would love to know. If you want to leave a comment. Yes, Eric? Yeah. Eric, no, you can't go in the video right now, buddy. Not this time. Not this time. Oh, goodness. Just so you know, it's really been one of those days. Hey, you. Go put a shirt on. You can't do this. You gotta go put a shirt on.
No.
Well, okay then.
Okay. What's
It's hot here, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Who needs clothes? Unless, of course, you are live streaming or any videos or any pictures that are going out to the internet in the world. No. Go put something on. Okay. I'm going to be right back because he's not going to stop. Sorry. As I said, it's one of those days. One of those days. So I will keep going until he comes back and bothers me again, because that is the mood that he is currently in. Anybody have kids that are like that right now? And I am going to be doing a video coming out for you on how to interpret these energies for parents and for kids. So I'll cover all that. That's like happening right now. All right, so where was I? See, told you he'd bug me. All right, so again, as I mentioned, this new moon is the harvest time. So are you ready to harvest some of the work that you've been putting in your life? If you've been putting in a lot of effort of healing yourself, of what's been hidden in the depths of your soul, making conscious decisions around your life and releasing old patterns and beliefs, I really feel like you'll be getting a harvest for this time, effort and work that you've put in. Eric, do you need a shower? Do you want a shower? Oh, goodness. All right, I'm just gonna like do this as best as I can, guys, because I'm solo parenting right now, and you know, gotta do what you can do. And then I also have a very unique special needs child, so it is what it is. Oh, hi, Jennifer. You've been exhausted. Ugh, yeah, right? Let me put you up on that screen here. So yeah, I've been cleaning out old patterns, beliefs, drained you emotionally. Oh my gosh, girl. If I didn't have to like leave on this giant trip in like 2 days, I don't think I would be doing much at all today, and just letting myself process. Process what's coming up, processing what's ready to be released, and then things that are really stuck. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hey, Eric, be careful of the I also have a mantis here too. See, look, I don't want to. Do you see him? Do you see the little green bug? Actually, he's quite a big bug. Yeah. Can we leave him alone?
Big bug.
Yeah, it's a mantis.
It's a big bug.
There's a mantis on the inside of my sliding glass door. And they are quite magical.
It's a big bug.
Oh, well, thank you so much. It's been one of those days of needing strength as a pirate. What do you need? What would you like? If you're coming in, put this on. Head first. Okay, arms. Look, you've got Minecraft. Go read your shirt. Go read what it says.
Big.
Yep, big bug. Special bug. He's on the inside. Here, he's hiding from you. You're like Godzilla.
Oh! Is he hiding?
You are Godzilla in a green shirt. Okay. Okay. Now if we have Eric photo bombs or video bombs, we'll be okay. So yes, really diligent effort that you put in. Depending on where you are, of course, on your journey with this, like I really do feel like you will be seeing the fruits of your labor coming in. And even if you're still like in it and in the, you know, like under the hood and you're ripping everything out, I also feel like you're going to be getting a lot of signs coming in. Like, yeah, I'm doing okay. And like there's going to be this reassurance that even though like you're in the thick of it, you are still incredibly supportive and you're going to see where you're going and that it's all worth it. And for some of you, would you like to say hi now? You can say hi now. Yeah. You, oh my gosh. He's like, lift my shirt up. Jesus. I cannot get out to the middle of nowhere fast enough, people. Into nature, like, we need it. Now, for those of you who have been a little bit more... Hey, Eric, are you ready to go in the shower? You want to go in the shower? And get some water on your body? No. I just want to bother you, Mom, and make really loud noises and be disruptive. So for those of you who've been resistant to this kind of change, showing up for yourself, shifting of how you are doing relationships, doing things differently, if you're still stuck in the old versus new mentality, I think life itself is going to be like resisting to you staying in the old way. I think you're going to start to get some pushes and nudges. This is also playing into this Saturn-Uranus square, okay? This energy, this tension is going to continue to increase well into the fall season. It will be exact by degree, the square, just the beginning of October. But we're going to be feeling that energy more and more. So there's time to correct. There's time to, redirect. But just be aware that this energy is going to be continuing to build for you. Adding to this as well, we have the Saturn, Uranus is stationing retrograde on the 25th, so that's 2 days from now. And then we'll go retrograde on the 26th, so that's 1 day before the full moon, or the new moon. I've been doing so many videos, I have no idea what moon we're in. August, but no, the new moon in August. You can say hi. Would you like to say hi? So if you've been focusing on building community, creating new community for you. I feel like you're going to be getting a really big payoff, like a harvest for you in this area, especially if you're taking a different route or path to make that happen. And if not, again, this mounting tension, this extreme feeling, it's going to continue to grow. Can you tell? Extreme feeling, like this energy is going to be getting more and more, and Eric is giving us a brilliant demonstration of what this energy can be doing for your kids at this time. I would love to help you with your energy. Okay, let's go get some. Oh my goodness. So, if you have a kid who's got energy going like that, water is wonderful to help kind of get it out, rush it out, just purify, cleanse. Grounding, going into nature, barefoot on the earth, wonderful to help our kids. I just set up Eric to go in the shower and gave him some salt for his shower. And then I put some ashwagandha oil into it because I'm like, you need calm. But real life example of what this energy could be doing for the people around in your life or even yourself. And you just want to go and scream and yell and let it all out. All right, so where was I? Yes, mounting tension. It's happening. It's wanting to go burst in a new direction. Now, at this full moon, new moon, we're new moon. I don't even know what day it is anymore. I just know I have a whole list of stuff to get done and like one day to do it. Before we're gone for 2.5 weeks. All right, so new moon in Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign, okay? So real high priestess energy, okay? But the sign is also ruled by Mercury. Look at that, there's Mercury again. So the question becomes for you around this time, whose voice are you listening to? Is this your inner voice? Or is it the voice of someone else? And is this voice supportive of you? Or is it critical? Or are you listening to the voice of your soul, of your intuition, about your role in life and your direction? It's very highlighted right now at this new moon, okay? So this is a wonderful time to do things differently. If you find that that your thoughts are on this continuous negative reel and you want to correct it, this is a really supportive time to do that. Clearing energy. So again, like doing it differently, how you show up in the world, how you shine, how you want to do your business or your creations. Go experiment, try new things. Look and then see what happens. Discern what the results are, the processes, and like so forth. Did this work here or did this not work? So maybe if I go and I shift this little one thing here, what is that result going to look like? Is it a little bit better? Do I need to tweak it more? So very discerning moon that we have. Go on this alchemizing journey with yourself. I almost think of the energy too like you have a Rubik's Cube and you're moving it all around to try and find the way that fits for you. Like not society's square. Your square, your shape, your colors, your way of doing things. And maybe as you're shifting things around, it actually transforms from like a square to a triangle. Or, oh my gosh, maybe even to Metatron's cube. Like just so out there in quantum. But that's all available for all of us right now. So go do it. And also listen, truly listen to the people in your life and the people around you. Take advantage of Mercury going to be going into Libra, okay? Libra is all about the other, balance, harmony, listening. So you can bring in this mental mind energy of Mercury, this way of communicating, and maybe be a teacher of new balance, of new harmony in your relationships. You could be a leader in that. This truly, again, is a time to just make a breakthrough in these mental areas, to form new habits and processes for thinking, which includes how you relate to your inner self. If you want to change how you respond to others, you first need to look and discern how you relate and respond and react to yourself, to your inner critical voice. Because you cannot give to others what you haven't given to yourself first. Now is this wonderful time to be a detective, to discern and see whatever your inner thoughts that are coming up and ask, where is this coming from? Is it my belief? Is it ancestral? Is this coming from great-great-granddad? Or is this even societal voices, societal thoughts and conditioning? And I would love to know, like, do you have some of those thoughts that are immediately like popping up for you that you are wanting to change? And do you know where they're coming from? I would love to know, like, please go ahead and share. Pop it in the comments. Yeah, so I can see you and support you on your process and your journey. Because this is a process. And it's going to be unique to each of us to be our own inner alchemist, to be burning down all these old thoughts until you get to the base elements. And from there, you sift through and look closer and see what's actually there. And you do this instead of just reacting unconsciously to these mental thoughts. The default. Look and see what's under the microscope for you. But however these experiences are coming up, these resistances, these this is the way things have always been done, so you have to keep doing it this way. Being mindful of those thoughts, the old ways, the old tired ways, the old routines, those are the ones we're going to be really taking a look at and noticing. That's a real opportunity for transformation with the south node of the moon going through Scorpio. So we're digging deep into all that's hidden, all that's uncomfortable, and we're shining a light there. That's the job of Pluto. So if you want to transform these old thought patterns, then you have to understand where they're coming from and why. It's always better to meet some of this energy head on, especially like Pluto, especially Uranus. It's coming from your soul and from this desire to move into a new evolutionary direction. Now, at the full moon, on the new moon, on the 27th of August, Mars is in Gemini, trine to Mercury, who's over in Libra. And this energy is really bringing the mind online. It's going to be initiating the mind And we may experience ways of communicating, moving in new directions, new paths. Think of it like trailblazing in new directions. And so there's this invitation for us to go and explore and see what happens. Our thoughts might be very speedy and quick at this time, easily scattered or distracted. Think of it like jumping from one idea, one project to the next, and not able to really settle. This can also be very hot and intense energy. Anger, frustration. Think of it almost like sparking fire energy. You were just, kind of witnessing with Eric here and his energy just sparking all over the place. Be also aware of this coming up in the media at this time. This hot, intense, fiery, scattered, can be very distracted as well. Just how it's being expressed and shared and communicated with the whole world at this global level on the world stage. Okay, so just think it can be even more expansive than normal. And yes, the law and justice can come in as well with Mercury in Libra. So really hold, and whatever happens around this new moon or, into September, really hold the space to help yourself process and see what's happening, what's being communicated. Having a more objective eye, if you can, try to understand it and see from this higher vantage point and be reflective of it, as opposed to just reactive. We might experience communication coming in from our body or our instincts. That's Mars, and this could be ways of, our bodies trying to communicate us, or these new ways are actually coming in through our body. So listen to your body and what your unconscious is trying to tell you through your body and your emotions at this time. Mars is going to be in Gemini for 8 months until March 23, 2023. Look at those numbers right there. And that's very unusual, this length of time for Mars. So keep this in mind as we go through this very intense period in our world. It's gonna be with us, okay? This energy is gonna be with us into winter time of next year even. This information kind of bombarding, coming at us. So how can you keep your focus? That's the kind of question you want to be asking yourself. How do you keep from being too scattered? So what you can do is really follow your curiosity. Use this Mars in Gemini, okay? Focus on what you are really desiring, what you're curious about. Really practice that. And if you catch yourself getting scattered, getting distracted, and lost in that, remember to go use Mars. Go into your instincts and your desires and your curiosity. Again, this world experience we are having might get very intense. And if you're a highly sensitive individual, this can be an extraordinarily tough time. Best thing to do, which you just saw with me and Eric, ground yourself. Care for yourself. Whatever it is that works for you to dispel this energy, go do that. Don't get swept up in the drama, the manipulation, intensity. See, South Node going through Scorpio. Because when you can hold space for you, then you can hold it for everyone around you. And that includes the collective. And you're going to be just better able to just ride all this waves of information and changes and breakdowns to break through that will be coming at us at this time. remember as well that Saturn makes us work for it. If this dream or project creation, whatever it is for you, is really pulling at your soul and it's out there and it's different, don't stop. Keep going, keep following your desires, your curiosity. Just dig in to that energy and don't give up. Be consistent at whatever you are dreaming up, whatever path you are bringing into this world. Don't stop. And I would love to know what that is for you. Please share with me in the comments below, like what path, what project creation are like you just brimming with excitement and saying yes, a full body yes to doing. Even if you're in that kind of like, well, I take a step forward or 2 steps forward and then I feel like I get shoved back a step. Okay, so even if you have that experience, keep going, keep going. This Saturn is how we are building for the long term, how we are creating something that is sustainable far into the future. All these new structures in our lives, these new relationships, these new systems. If it's different, do it. Do it. Like that's like the highlighted energy of this moment. May not be easy. It may not be this perfect smooth sailing as we would love. And yet it is through this effort, this process, this giving ourselves our recognition for our skills and our talents and what we are capable of, that is what is going to build the structure here on this planet and this new Aquarian age that we are stepping into. So just great rewards. It's all in the astrology. Just great change for those who are really embracing this path of different, of going against the grain. Because anything is possible. And so I'm going to start to wrap up, but I want to bring in a few more energies for you to be aware of. So, yeah, at this, oh, hello, Daphne. How are you doing? How are you? So we're going to be having Venus and this moon in Leo, going to be square to Uranus, who's going to be retrograde, and the North Node in Taurus. Hello, Danielle. Yes, I'm glad you're here. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you. I do. And I would love to know, is there some big dream that you are calling in at this moment? Is there something calling you? Some creation, some project that we can all sort of just share and give you energy towards? I'm sure you guys, so much going on, so much you can't even decide. We're so scattered, right? Feeling that scattered energy already. Oh, look at that. Daphne might be able to sell her property at the perfect price to the perfect person. Ooh, wow. I can feel energy on that one. You're already feeling that scattered energy. Oh, yeah. Mars went into Gemini 2 days ago. very recently. I'm really meant, like, time-wise, not actually here on this planet. But yeah, so that's wonderful. So exciting for you. I'm going to send you such good thoughts and intentions that all works out. All works out. I will be in Glacier and Yellowstone during this energy coming up. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be bringing in while I'm out there, but I can feel that it's pretty big and powerful. So I will let the land and spirit guide me what videos and channelings I need to do to bring here and share with you all. Yes, ready for new adventures. I'm so glad that you said that, because that's so much of what this time is. New adventures. Break out of the old routine and go into the new. Even if it's scary. But most especially if it is different. To add in as well, so you are aware of what's coming up around this new moon, is we're going to have Venus, who's over, and the moon are going to be in Leo, and they will be square to Uranus, retrograde, okay? And there's that North Node there. They are going to be, North Node and Uranus are going to be together for the rest of this year. So what does that mean? Well, what are the ways that we want to express ourselves and that we find we can't, or we haven't been allowed to because we've been too weird or out there or different? Ways which we haven't fit into the cookie cutter, the hive mind, that mold, that cog in the wheel. This could also be around love and beauty that's different, or shining your light instead of a light that has been repressed. That's so true. Yes, that's scary. It's scary jumping into the unknown, taking that leap of faith. I don't know if there's much scarier than trusting in what your soul is just calling you to do. So just know there could be a real building tension around this Venus moon, like going and actually doing it differently, being different, shining differently, just stepping into that life of who you are. So it could be like a new initiating journey into that even. And this may not be this big explosive thing. It could be very inner, reflective time. You might even be thinking about your own childhood that's coming up to the surface, where that was your experience, where you couldn't be who you were. So you instead put on different cloaks and masks just so you could survive. So there can be this like letting go of those and a real healing around that. Think of it like karma ripening, ready to be witnessed and cleared. Parts of you that are ready to come back online and to be part of your whole system again. So this might be a very emotional moon just there in that energy. And it can be very expressive, Leo, with these emotions. You could have this going from exuberant joy to intense sadness in like an instant. So be sure to hold space for yourself and any of your loved ones who might be experiencing that. Be a solid rock, this foundation of love, and provide them a safe space to really get into it all, whatever it is that's coming up for them, and hold that emotional safe container. Is anyone else feeling the emotions today. Anyone else in that? This is exactly what you're feeling, Jennifer. That's right. You know, it's like, just like you said, like everything's falling away and you're turning around and you're like, well, shit, who am I? Who do I even want to be? And can you even answer that question? I find that it's like this process of once you finally let all the masks go and fall away and you're looking around and it's like you have to remember, rediscover, re-explore that inner child. Look, Leo, see? The inner child that you are, that you want to go and play and just go on stage and belt it out, or however for you shining your light is. Yeah, and it's actually very interesting. Even in the galactic Mayan calendar, we're going through a yellow human wave spell, which is my resonant sign. So it's been very hard. And we've got like 9 days of that left. But that's specifically for me. So, but yeah, anyway, it's quite just emotionally intense. A lot of I don't know for you, so you can let me know, but a lot of feminine healing has been very highlighted. And I feel too like healing around the masculine, but it's the feminine that's really coming up very strongly for me to be witnessing right now. A lot of silencing coming in through my ancestors and my parts. That oppressed voice, not being allowed to have a voice, to have worth, or being less than the man. Again, this ancestry in my parts that have really been coming up to the surface. So yeah, I'd love to know if that's similar to you or it completely different, you know? Yeah. It's, oh my gosh, making big changes is scary because we don't know where we're going. We have no idea we're stepping into this future. We're going into the unknown. And it's beautiful to do it right now because, again, we've got Uranus who's saying there, do it differently. I'm taking you into the future. And then we have our north node of the moon, which is our evolutionary intention to go in that direction. Your pace, your way of doing things. And what is that? So it's like, yeah, go do it differently. Go do it differently is you. And that's a lot of deconditioning that's happening. You're also having a lot around your maternal line coming up. Well, I love that. Thank you, Daphne. Me and my brother have been in some deep conversation around family issues, where normally a man would take a firmer lead. And he's been very open to allowing you to do it and to have a voice of influence within family dynamic. That's beautiful. And that, I think, also is a little bit what I'm feeling. It's like there's this feminine rising into her power, this more balance, harmony, equality, Mercury in Libra. But there's also this healing of the masculine and how to have graceful allowance, respect for the feminine voice, the feminine experience. And I'm not speaking about just necessarily men and women. I'm also speaking about energy streams that we are both carrying within us. Yeah, I did get you. Yeah, that he's not shutting you down. That's really beautiful. Yeah, you're respected. And if you haven't, you might even just want to tell him thank you for if you know to really let those in our lives who might have had that more oppressive role, silencing of voices, and then they actually start allowing the, the voices of those normally unheard come to the surface to like actually acknowledge that I see what you're doing and I'm really grateful for it. Like I'm feeling respected. I'm feeling safe in this relationship in a new way because you did that. And that's going to be part of that healing dynamic, that balance coming back. I hope you do. I hope you do. I do. And what's really beautiful too is, so this energy that I'm speaking of, okay, on August 28th and 29th, we're going to have Saturn opposing Venus. So I think we're really going to be feeling this energy, that exact around, it's not going to just be on like the 28th and 29th, that's your energy hit days, but you might be feeling it around it. And it can be very much having an experience by society, the structures and the systems, the societal expectations and obligations, okay? Pushing, or I should say doing that opposition energy, like going to the extremes of Venus, wanting to be there in Leo, doing it her way, her light, the beauty of Venus, the taste, your rhythm, your pace, whatever it is for you, right? And then the Saturn energy being like, no, you can't do that. That's not the way we do things. Okay, I just need a minute to finish up with Eric. Hang on a second. One day, I will get to a point where I don't need to do that or have interruptions. So, let's take a moment, center myself. Oh, how interesting. Okay, Daphne. So I hope that this can help you knowing of these energies. So with Saturn is right now retrograde in Aquarius. So I will miss it at times. What do they say? In parenting, the days are long, but the years are short. Yes, like I know it. And it would also just be really helpful to have someone around helping out a little bit more. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, yes. So, Saturn retrograde, okay? Yours is 22? Oh my goodness. I'm also going to be doing another video that's going to be going up focusing on kids and bringing in also some of the older energy, because I mean, like, kids keep growing up, right? Like, I'm a kid to my parents, but gives you a highlighted like what you can even expect for them, looking at the astrology through a parenting lens rather than just adults looking to understand what the heck we are going through on our planet at this time, right? But that'll be coming up. I don't know when, because I've got videos all over the place. I'm getting ready for this trip, but obviously before the 27th. All right. So this Saturn, okay, retrograde Aquarius, so 28th, 29th, okay, you might be re-experiencing how you have been oppressed in the way that you love, or repressed, how you shine your light, your creative self-expression, shining out in the world, that you weren't allowed to do that. So it can be this re-experiencing through an actual lived experience. But this time, the energy of Saturn, it's like Saturn's turning up his nose at what happened. This energy is very rebellious, progressive, ready to push the envelopes of the systems and structures because it can see how they are wrong or broken and not it's not working anymore. So it's, we might have that re-experience. And then with that is this reflection. How can I do it differently? Because that way it sucks, right? Like that kind of energy of like, no, ugh, I'm not going to do that again. That's dumb. That's broken. I'm going to go experiment. That's Aquarius right there for you. I'm going to go try and do it differently. I'm going to go try and tweak it. So it's like, it could be even, I know it does sound great, huh? This re-experience of being told that you needed to fit into the cookie cutter mold or the hive mind or the groupthink. And so there can be this energy of breaking through that is building within you, around you, and people around you. So it could be also coming up through around love, value, and value systems. And we've been talking about this healing of the feminine and the masculine, that energy stream of, okay, let's actually start to value the wisdom of the feminine, to be more receptive, to listen. So yeah, and also too, like some healing this around how you shine your light in the world and in your unique way. Again, a lot of inner child healing can come up. So if you feel really deep emotions, go look at that closer and see if there's a little child in there who's needing to be seen and cared for. And if you're really interested and you're like, I'm feeling all this energy coming up in my life and I don't know what to do, I have all these patterns that are continuing, please reach out. I did post a link to my website, and let's schedule an astrology birth chart reading and dig into why this is so stuck for you and get an idea of how to move past it. And again, don't be afraid to push the boundaries, to go into these new and bold, big, think really big directions. Be yourself. Be who you uniquely are. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let the society tell you who you need to be. Yes, for birth charts, you do need to know the time of your birth because that's going to set the houses in your chart, and that's really important. There are astrologers who have a whole lot of math equations, and they can almost like progress back to figure out what it was for you, but I have no idea to do it. I do know that it's possible. Yeah. Yeah. Your mother doesn't remember? Well, do you have access to your birth certificate? Because I think now most of us of this generational age have birth times also on our birth charts. And if like you've lost it or misplaced it, there are ways that you can go and request that to be sent to you. And another thing, oh, you don't think it is? Okay. Another thing too is you can even ask like what time of day was it? Were you hungry? Like you can kind of figure out too, a real, like ask your mother, like, you know, is this the middle of the night or was the sun shining brightly over above my head? So yeah, like you can figure that out a little bit better. Yes. Daphne is about to do it, so sending you, Daphne, so much excitement and joy and celebration to sell your property, hit the road, like, yes, traveling in a camper. Yeah. That is a wonderful, like, exciting new adventure. Exactly. Doing it differently. Go do it differently. Yeah. So yeah, just celebrate. Like, we don't take time to celebrate ourselves. So celebrate the uniqueness of who you are and who the people in your life are. And really embrace this energy of turning your nose up at society. The ways that you're like, dude, this isn't working. Like, phew, I'm not buying that anymore. And you go tell them, like, no, I'm not doing it that way. I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to go be me. Oh, yes. Yes. I hope you can, Daphne. You please need to let me know when you're coming out here so we can make sure that I'm, in the area. Or maybe you can go meet us in the woods or the desert, depending on what time of year it is. But please, I would love for you, more than anything, to just shine your bright light. Because you are brilliant and bright, exactly as you are. And no one but you needs to give you that recognition. You are capable of shining in your own unique, brilliant, bright ways. So no matter what is happening in the world at this time, this outside world, it's chaotic. It's going to keep going there, okay? Whitewater rafting is ahead. Just be aware, breathe through it. If you have people in your life who are very anxious, you might even just kind of be like, hey, heads up, astrology is really kind of pointing that things are going to get a little bit more intense. Yes, I would love that. I would really love that. So we'll hook up. Totally. We'll meet up somewhere. But those people in your life who feel that way, you might, it doesn't necessarily make any of this easier. Inflation is what it is. And if you're in a really stuck position and you're having to make hard choices, am I going to feed myself and my family, or I'm going to heat us? That doesn't make that situation easier. It's still uncomfortable. It is still hard. It is still scary. But it's you can just navigate it with a smidge more grace because you're having this higher awareness of what's happening and why. What we are being asked to do and why. So it's yes, okay, I know that this is difficult right now, and yet at the other end of this is going to be this much more just beautiful equality world. I'm looking so differently. Uranus is bringing us into the future, and we don't know what that's going to look like. And yet, if we're willing to dream it, and to go out there and to do things differently, and to bring in new value systems. I'm all for bringing back more of the feminine, the matrilineal lineage to our world. And let's see how that changes things, how we can have more balance.
What's that? What's that?
And there's Eric. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because you know how he is, especially today. I just wanted to thank you all so much for being here. Again, if you're stuck and you're really struggling, I'm here for you. Coaching, birth chart readings, healing, just go to my website, reach out. I am available at private readings, right? And then please like this video. And if you find it helpful for you navigating what's coming up, please share it, especially to those friends and family who are struggling and they're really in it and they need a life jacket in these waves. And of course, it just helps me as well to just get this out there to more and more people who are like you. So yes, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Daphne, Danielle, all of those of you who joined. Jennifer, I'm so grateful for you. And I will be keeping you posted on my adventures into Glacier National Park in Yellowstone, and really hoping this time we're not going to have any evacuations happen. All right, guys, you enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.